Dear Christian friend, welcome to COVID-19 Pandemic Emergency Preaching Part 3. I'm Dr. Prospado from Healing Christian Center in United Kingdom. Emergency situations to imagine for emergency preaching. Imagine you are in one of these situations and you need to preach, but you have not had formal Bible college training. 1. You are a Christian and faced with a pandemic like COVID-19 and caring for desperate people affected who need hope for living now and beyond this life. Another emergency situation is that you are a Christian on a campus in a student fellowship group, either in primary, secondary, or tertiary university institution, and you are among the leaders and you are faced with a preaching assignment. What do you do? Third situation, you are at the countryside with deep passion to preach to a group in the church or in the village with no access to modern technology. What do you do? The fourth scenario is you are in your workplace and have a strong desire to preach to colleagues or peers. What do you do? The fifth scenario is you are in a place or a country where there is persecution of Christians and the gospel must be heard through training disciples in the underground church. What do you do? I would like to share these tools which I learned from others while in a similar scenario, and by the grace of God, I was able to prepare to preach as the Holy Spirit brought into remembrance things He has taught me. There's a need for priority for purpose, and God has chosen to save men through preaching of the gospel, said by Bill Chapman. And the late Ryan Bonnke said, the gospel of Jesus Christ is no gospel good news unless it is preached, as in Mark chapter 16 verse 15 and 1 Corinthians 1:21. The Great Commission in Mark 16:15, and he said to them, go into the world and preach the gospel to every creature. And 1 Corinthians 1:21, for since in the wisdom of God, the world through wisdom did not know God, it pleased God through the foolishness of the message preached to save those who believe. Studying a book can be the beginning and can be in three approaches, either character studies of the Bible, subject or topical study, or systematic studies. Character studies may be by collection of information, listing statements made about the person, then sort the information, put them under relevant headings. Example, background, home, family, education, etc. History of the person, the main events in the life of the person. Work, the main activity of the person. Characteristics, words and attitudes and actions and teachings related to that person. Character studies is another approach where we'll go through the first approach, which is going through the application of the information to situation today. Example, collects information. Example, slave of Christ, prayerful and thankful, in prison but witnessing there, etc. And then apply the information to situation today by sorting the information, the character study, putting them under headings. Example, the background, history, work, characteristics of persona, regarding them, regarding the Lord, and then applying the information. Subject or topic study. General consideration why the subject is being written about. Example, 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 1, chapter 8 verse 1, and chapter 12 verse 1. Here Corinthians asked Paul certain questions. Secondly, the original readers of the book. Example, Philippi was a garrison town, so Paul uses military terms in writing to them. Subject or topic study is another study where the procedure is collection and noting references to the subject, sorting them out, and application. Systematic studies is the third form of study of the Bible. Systematic studies, this brings together the study of the various subjects in a book and discovers the message of the whole book by looking at the background, which tells of the writer, the readers, and reasons for writing. Now, looking at the content in systematic study, what it says. Read the book, read again, making list of contents, paragraph by paragraph. Then read the list of contents to discover the main theme of the book. Note key verses or a key verse. Go through the list again in order to determine where the main divisions occur and to give titles to the main sections in turn in order to determine where the main sections divide. This gives subsections and gives titles to subsections. Thank you, dear friend, for listening. And this is the reference. Our next section will be on studying a passage, and I'd like you to join me in that. And thank you, and God bless you, even as you share this with those on your contact list. God bless.